Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. According to reports from the German press, Max Verstappen is set to make his official debut in competitive racing outside of Formula One in the coming weeks. The Red Bull star, widely regarded as the most dominant driver of the current era, will line up at the legendary Nürburgring circuit, a track with which he already has a curious history. Earlier this year, Verstappen secretly tested a Ferrari GT3 car at the Nürburgring under the pseudonym Franz Hermann. That test attracted significant attention after rumors surfaced that he had unofficially broken a lap record during the session. While the claims were never officially verified, the use of the alias and the performance itself added to the mystique. Now, Verstappen is preparing to return to the circuit, but this time, he will compete under his own name. Before making his debut in the Nürburgring Langstreckenserie, NLS, Verstappen must complete a mandatory theoretical test scheduled for September 13th. The test is required because, despite his world-class experience in Formula One, he is classified as a rookie in official Nürburgring competition. If he passes, he will be cleared to compete in the 9th round of the NLS Championship on September 27th, driving a Ferrari GT3 entered by his own team, Verstappen.com Racing. The timing of this debut is notable, as it falls shortly after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, which takes place from September 19th to 21st. This means Verstappen will have very limited time to transition from Formula One to GT3 racing, underlining the challenge of managing both commitments at the highest level. Still, the Dutchman has never hidden his interest in endurance racing, and this opportunity may serve as a first step toward exploring that passion in an official capacity. For years, Verstappen has hinted at a possible future in categories beyond Formula One, particularly endurance racing. He has often spoken of his admiration for the 24 Hours of Le Mans and other long-distance events. His participation in the NLS could therefore be interpreted as more than just an isolated appearance. It may represent the beginning of his gradual preparation for life after Formula One. The Nürburgring is an especially fitting place for such a debut. Known as one of the most challenging circuits in the world, the Green Hell demands absolute focus, precision, and endurance from drivers. For Verstappen, it offers a unique test of his adaptability and skill in a racing discipline vastly different from the sprint-style intensity of Formula One. Whether this marks the start of a parallel racing career or simply a one-off challenge remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that Verstappen's involvement will draw significant attention to the NLS round, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the event. Fans and competitors alike will be eager to see how the 3-time world champion performs in GT3 machinery against seasoned specialists. For now, Verstappen remains fully committed to Red Bull and Formula One, where he continues to fight for championships. But the Nürburgring appearance provides a glimpse of what the future may hold, a future where the Dutchman extends his career beyond F1 and into the demanding world of endurance racing. So what do you think? Will Verstappen excel in GT3 racing as he has in Formula One? And is this the first step toward a career shift into endurance competitions once his F1 chapter comes to a close? Who will line up alongside Pierre Gasly at Alpine next season? That remains one of the key unanswered questions in the current Formula One driver market. Gasly has already been confirmed for 2026, but the future of Franco Colapinto is far less certain, as the Argentine rookie continues to struggle for consistent results. Over the past few weeks, speculation has intensified that Alpine may not keep Colapinto if he fails to improve in the final stretch of the season. The team is currently last in the Constructors' Championship, and while much of the blame falls on the competitiveness of the car, Colapinto's performances have left doubts inside the paddock. This week, Alpine executive Flavio Briatore addressed the situation directly in an interview. He admitted that Colapinto has not performed as well as we had hoped, but emphasized that stability is also a priority for the team. According to Briatore, the most likely scenario is to maintain both drivers for 2026, provided Colapinto shows signs of progress. Briatore insisted that Alpine's real challenge lies with its machinery, not its drivers. He pointed out that the team's Renault power unit remains the weakest on the grid, leaving Alpine at a significant disadvantage against its rivals. However, The situation is expected to change dramatically in 2026 when Alpine transitions to Mercedes engines. Briatore described this as a turning point, predicting that it will eliminate one of the team's biggest weaknesses and allow it to fight consistently inside the top six. Still, he made it clear that Alpine cannot wait indefinitely. The decision regarding Colapinto's contract will be made by October, giving the team enough time to plan for 2026. If they choose to replace him, management will need that window to secure and prepare another driver. "I did not come back to Formula One just to be a passenger," Briatore stated firmly, underlining that his goal is to see Alpine back on the podium as early as next year. Among the names being linked to Alpine, Brazilian driver Felipe Drugovich has emerged as a serious candidate. Currently serving as Aston Martin's reserve driver, Drugovich has impressed with his consistency, professionalism, and contributions in both simulator and track testing. Some reports suggest that parts of the Alpine leadership are already considering him as a viable alternative should Colapinto be released. Drugovich's candidacy is strengthened by the fact that he has been repeatedly praised by Fernando Alonso at Aston Martin, who has highlighted the Brazilian's strong work ethic and commitment to development. Combined with his Formula 2 championship title and additional experience in categories such as hypercar and Formula E, Drugovich offers a profile of reliability and versatility that could fit Alpine's long-term ambitions. Ultimately, the decision will come down to how Colapinto performs in the remaining races of the season. If he demonstrates progress and consistency, Alpine may opt for continuity. But if his struggles continue, the door could open for Drugovich, or potentially another candidate, to step in for 2026. As the countdown to October begins, the Alpine seat remains one of the most intriguing open questions in Formula One. Will Colapinto convince the team to keep faith, or will Drugovich finally get his long-awaited chance on the grid? Felipe Drugovich's name is once again circulating in the Formula One paddock as one of the most realistic candidates for a race seat in 2026. While the Brazilian has long been tipped for a breakthrough, recent reports from the French press suggest that Alpine, backed by Renault, now views him as a leading option for its future lineup. The speculation comes after weeks of uncertainty surrounding Franco Colapinto's position in the team. Colapinto has struggled to deliver consistent results, and sources close to Alpine indicate that the Argentine may not be retained beyond this season. According to the respected French outlet L'Auto Hebdo, the restructuring of Renault's leadership has opened the door for Drugovich to be seriously considered. The article highlighted that Drugovich represents a solid alternative for the Instone-based team, citing his versatility, professionalism, and strong reputation within the paddock. The report also emphasized that his absence from the Formula One grid until now is seen by some as an anomaly, given his talent and achievements in junior categories. Drugovich's profile has been further boosted by endorsements from key figures inside Aston Martin, where he has served as reserve and development driver since 2023. Fernando Alonso, in particular, has repeatedly praised Drugovich's dedication in the simulator, his contributions during free practice sessions, and the professionalism he brings to testing duties. For a team like Alpine, which seeks stability alongside Pierre Gasly, such qualities are seen as highly valuable. Beyond his F1 commitments, Drugovich has built experience across multiple disciplines. He has tested Pirelli's 2026 prototype tires, raced in endurance categories such as hypercar, and gained exposure in Formula E. This varied background could give Alpine confidence that he is well prepared to adapt to the new era of regulations arriving in 2026, when car design and technical priorities will undergo a dramatic reset. The timing may also be favorable, with Cadillac choosing Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez for its debut season and Aston Martin showing no signs of altering its current lineup. Alpine remains one of the few realistic opportunities for Drugovich to finally step into a full-time F1 role. His consistent presence in the paddock and ability to remain patient could now pay off. For Renault's new leadership, the choice also carries symbolic weight. Alpine is in need of a driver who can deliver results while helping to rebuild its competitive foundation. Bringing in a driver with Drugovich's discipline and experience could be seen as a decisive step toward revitalizing the project, especially with the 2026 regulations promising to shake up the competitive order. Still, much depends on Colapinto's performances in the remaining races of the current season. If the Argentine fails to recover and continues to lag behind expectations, Alpine's management may have little choice but to consider alternatives. And according to French media, Drugovich is currently ahead of rivals such as Jack Doohan in the pecking order. For Drugovich, this could represent the culmination of years of persistence. After winning the Formula 2 championship in 2022, he was unable to immediately secure a race seat, spending seasons in the shadows as a reserve. But now, with the support of Renault's management and growing recognition of his work ethic, he appears closer than ever to making the long-awaited leap to Formula 1.